What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Second Avenue Podcast. I'm your host, Jonathan Linares.
I'm your other host, Elijah Venencia. Welcome back, everybody. Crazy morning for us. Not crazy, pretty disappointing. Pretty disappointing last two Sundays. Honestly, we recorded before our game last week, and then we're doing it after our game this week. So uh, we lost both games. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't think much else needs to be said.
No, it was disgusting last week. We sounded very optimistic going into the game. I thought we were going to come out with a win. Unfortunately, it did not go that way, and it went equally as bad this week. Not looking great for the last game of the regular season and then the playoffs. I mean, hey, you never know. It is March, but things aren't going our way this year. We got a couple people that aren't going to be able to continue the season, doesn't look like. So we'll see what we do, but we're down pretty bad.
Yeah, I'd say so. We'll see what happens, though. I'm optimistic. We are missing some key pieces, but we'll keep you guys updated. We got a
Of
couple more
course.
weeks left at least. So
Yeah, let's before we get into everything, let's do our songs of the week. Last week we forgot to do our songs of the week. That's on us, hand up. We really dropped the ball on that, but we can't let you guys go without songs of the week 2 weeks in a row. So let's talk about our three songs of the week each. I'll let you kick it off with your first selection.
for my first one here, I have Now or Never by Kendrick Lamar. It's Mary J. Blige on there as well, right?
Hmm.
This really like just came on randomly. It's been in my rotation, of course, or in my like songs or whatever. Uh, and this came on, and this just took me back in the day, 2K14.
Oh
This
yeah.
is on the soundtrack that LeBron picked. This is kind of like one of the first few songs I'd heard by Kendrick Lamar. Obviously, swimming pools, songs like that. But I mean, just a great track, and I feel like it's really like a deep cut for Kendrick, especially.
Yeah, I feel like it's not talked about too much like within his discography, but it's one that like everybody knows at the same time. Obviously, being on 2K, so many people know it, and so many people that aren't even like fans of Kendrick know it. So it's a good song. I don't go out of my way to listen to it too much, but when it comes on, it is always a pleasant surprise. So great track right there. My first one is "The Fall" by The Weeknd. Cut from Echoes of Silence, really a song that I slept on. If you know me, I'm a ride or die for The Weeknd,
Uh,
but it's a track that I never found myself going to seeking out. But then I heard it one day. I listened to Echoes of Silence in full, and I was like, "What have I been missing?" But
yeah,
everything just clicked, and I've been listening to it so much recently, so had to show it some love because I feel like it's one that people might not go check out, but they should be.
definitely. I love those, the ones that you kind of skip over consistently, but then like you give it that listen, like just the one time randomly, and you're like, okay, like I haven't heard this in a minute. Like this sounds a lot better than it did, a year ago.
Always.
So, with my second track here, I have "The Beach" by Vince Staples. "Off Ramona Park" broke my heart. That album gets brought up a lot by us, or has been in the past, and we haven't talked about it, I guess, in a minute, or Vince Staples for that matter. But just a great track. "The Beach." It wasn't, it's not one that I go to that often, but it came on and just a fire song. I think it's the intro track, and it's a really good intro.
It is. It's really sets the vibe for what we're gonna hear. You got that beach type sound. Obviously, the name, it's gonna have some sort of vibe of the beach, but it does. It's great. Really sets the vibe for the project, and one of our favorite projects from last year, both of us. So glad to see that deeper cut get some love here. My next track is Goodfellas by Lucky off his album Flawless Like Me from last year. One of my favorites recently. It's been bumping it like crazy. I don't know why, but the line where he says, Alexis must know voodoo because she's still all on my mental. I've been just in my head for so long. So maybe Alexis in my head too. But
Yeah,
yeah, shout to Lucky. That's a great track.
definitely. Have you ever seen the movie Goodfellas?
I have not.
I have
I
not
mean,
either.
my reputation, I'm bad with the movies, but yeah, Goodfellas definitely one that's on the list, but I'll get to it one of these days, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's like The Godfather. I feel like those kind of go together. So I also haven't watched
Mhm.
Goodfellas. So maybe this is our cue to watch it at some point this week. Do you want to commit to that on
I'm
air?
down. I am down.
Okay.
Let's do it and we'll come back. And, I'm sure there's a lot of like rap songs that have Goodfellas references that have just gone over my head, but I'm
Yeah,
going to
that's
start
kind of
hearing them now.
That's kind of why I watched The Godfather when what song is it off It's Almost Dry,
Uh,
when Michael kissed Fredo in
Fredo
Godfather 2.
Godfather 2.
Yeah, that's
Just so you
kind of was
remember, I think.
yeah, that kind of sparked my interest in watching it. So just so I
Uh,
could be like King Push. So with my last track
Fair
though,
enough.
this is a classic. This album is a classic. Oxymoron by Schoolboy Q. We have Hell of a Night, which this just brings back so many memories. This is like what 2014 when this came out.
I think so.
I was in seventh grade, eighth grade, just bumping this studio. I know we talked about studio on the podcast before, but I don't think Hell of a Night's ever gotten a mention, so I just had to give it the shine.
Yeah, it's a great track. That's a good call out there. We don't talk about Schoolboy Q too much, Oxymoron either, but it might have even dropped before then because I think it dropped when I was like early high school. No, it is 2014. I just looked it up, but I thought it could have been even earlier. I don't know why it
Mhm.
felt earlier. But yes, shout out to Schoolboy Q. Obviously, he's killing it and everything he's doing besides rap with golf and all that. But
Yeah,
I need some music from Q sometime soon. If you drop this year, I'd be pretty happy. Obviously, dropped Soccer Dad last year, so that was cool. But I need
he's
a full body from Q.
he's almost like Vince Staples esque with like just how good of a personality he is, or like how much he has going on outside of rap. So
Hmm. And obviously, he is a dad and stuff, so I'm sure he's getting
yeah,
a little bit older. So who knows? But definitely want some music from him if that's something he's interested in doing. My last track of the week is Vetmont Socks by Sheck West. Shout out to Sheck West. You know, people might say one hit wonder, whatever. Bobamba, obviously, a banger,
Mhm.
but
Yeah,
he's got some great other songs that people need to start showing love to. And Vetmont Socks is the one I've been listening to the most recently. One of my favorites. I, loved it when it was on Mudboy. And that was an album that was definitely overhated at the time. I feel like if you go
yeah,
back to it, if you went in expecting, 12 Mo Bambas, yeah,
yeah.
you'd probably be disappointed. But if you go in with like just expecting a solid album,
Yeah.
I think you'd be pretty happy. So going with that realistic expectation and give it another listen because it's really pretty solid.
Mhm. I feel like to the general public, Shaq West kind of flies under the radar. Like, he's super talented, obviously, and then I feel like people just know him for Mo Bamba. So I mean, obviously,
Hmm.
like you said, Mudboy's not fucking 10 out of 10 project, but it's a good
No,
listen. So
yeah, it's
I like
solid.
that one off there.
Yeah, Sheck West always had to come through with some energy, some charisma, and yeah, he gives you what you want. So, all right, that's it for the songs of the week. Earlier we talked about basketball, and I did say it's March. And you know what March means? It's March Madness, and that means bracket season. So we're coming at you guys with 4 brackets this month, 1 bracket each Monday. Starting off with something a little bit new here. Obviously we're music podcasts. We're going to be music podcasts, but obviously we got some interests and some opinions beyond that. So this month we want to get into 2 music brackets and then 2 non-music brackets. Starting with this week, we're doing the fast food bracket. Obviously, if you saw the title, the video, the thumbnail on YouTube, you knew that, but excited to get into this. Obviously, we got some opinions. We picked 16 fast food spots. A lot of our listeners are in the central Illinois, Vermilion County area. So a lot of options that are accessible for us. But yeah, it's going to be a good one. And then a couple of the other ones we have planned out. These are just, tentative. So let us know how they're sounding and then we'll go from there. But we got Travis Scott and rapper ad libs for the music brackets. And then for the other non-music bracket, we got the childhood TV shows, those Disney Channel, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon shows that everybody grew up on, a bracket of those. So I think this could be a great month for us.
Definitely. I want this to stay on the air here. I almost fell to the ground. This, like you said, it's gonna be a great month, but I almost fell to the ground at this news when I was looking at our bracket. Udonis Haslam to retire, the OG, the best player in
Ooh,
history. He's to retire after the season. So if I'm a little
tragic.
rattled this podcast, just understand why.
Yeah, understandably so. Shout out to the legend UD. Yeah, that's tough news. Breaking news here though.
I love
Uh
the I love the picture of him guarding Jason Tatum. If we can get a little insert of that.
yeah, I'll put it in the episode. All right, let's get in the bracket. Fast food bracket. We got 16 options here. Let's just run through the options. 8 aside. So left side of the bracket, we got McDonald's, Hardee's, Arby's, Panda Express, Taco Bell, Steak and Shake, Culver's, and Wendy's. And on the right side of the bracket, we got Chick-fil-A, KFC, Portillo's, Subway, Popeyes, Shake Shack, Burger King, and Chipotle. I'm excited
This
for
is
this one. I think we
this
got
is
some
gonna be
differing
good.
opinions.
Yeah,
Obviously,
we
food is
definitely have
very
to.
subjective.
This is gonna be an interesting one for sure. I think we're gonna have to give some to the other person and stuff like that. So I'm gonna pick and choose my battles with that. So
Okay, yeah, same. And I guess we got to talk about how this whole idea was brought up. It was brought up because I mean, you gave me a bad recommendation for some Chinese food, so I think your opinion might just be not great. So
I
we'll
just
see.
think you don't know Chinese food. I mean,
I think I'm not going to name drop because I didn't enjoy it, so I don't want to give them that plug. But if you're from Vermilion County, there's not too many options, and they're obviously not tens. I don't think, but I think you gave me like a 4.6. That was my rating, and it was just tough to see after you said it was the best spot. So
best spot in Danville for sure.
okay, yeah, I don't think the bar's too high there, but
Yeah, I
it
mean,
it did let me down though. All right, let's get into this bracket with the first matchup. We got McDonald's versus Hardee's.
pretty convincingly McDonald's for me.
Yeah, I agree. McDonald's is like the safest option. Nah, actually, that's kind of a lie. I guess it's just the most popular option. It's
Yeah,
not the safest because McDonald's can be hit or miss almost every time.
yeah. If you're
Um,
Devin, you got like high schoolers back there fucking your food up.
exactly. One time in the Hoops and McDonald's, this sounds like a Theo Von story. I was in the Hoops and McDonald's and there was a rat on the floor. And I was just, me and my friends, for context, used to just go there, hang out, play like Clash of Clans, get a drink, and just hang out. And we were just doing our thing, sitting in the corner booth. And a rat was just running around the floor, maybe a mouse, whatever. I don't know the
Yeah,
difference,
I
but
think a mouse. I think
some sort of rodent was running around the floor. And I was like, 16 and I was like, get this thing away from me. So I put my feet up on the booth we were sitting on. And then the manager yelled at me for my having my feet on the booth. I said, get the mouse out of your restaurant. Like, get your priorities straight. Like, what the hell are we talking about?
that is an odd story. McDonald's used to be the hangout spot though before COVID. I feel like COVID kind of ruined all that. But yeah, pretty convincingly McDonald's here. Although Hardee's breakfast is fire, but McDonald's breakfast still clears.
Yeah, I just had McDonald's breakfast after Mardi Gras and that revived me just a little bit to get through a basketball game. My last Hardee's like comment is I like rarely eat it. It's okay. I remember my boy Mitch G and we just like watched Scott Pilgrim versus the World and had Hardee's one time, and that was just like a random moment. We were just like driving around. It was like dinner time in Bloomington, and everywhere was just busy. We are like, where should we just go? That's just not gonna be busy. We went to Hardee's. There was no other cars there, so it really got what we wanted to get done. But it just wasn't that great. So yeah, it's a McDonald's here easily. Let's move on to the next matchup. We got Arby's versus Panda Express.
We already know you don't know what good Chinese food is. So I know you're gonna pick Panda Express here, but for me it's Arby's through and through. But
Oh,
I'll let you have this round. Panda Express is trash. I'll stand on that. And Arby's is
whoa.
gas. Arby's is literally one of my favorite fast food restaurants, but I'll let you have this one. I know
Well,
the
the thing is,
consensus would be with you. So
Arby's is overhated. Like
oh yeah.
that is
It's like
not
it's
even a
weird.
debate.
Like, yeah,
It's
like
so weird. I would say it's a pretty like high quality fast food spot, but people are like, no, it is trash. Like those fries, those are the best fries in the game, and that's not up for debate. I will die on the hill that Arby's is the best fries. And then in terms of other things, very good. I like the Arby's sauce a lot, but yeah, it is gonna be Panda Express here for me.
yeah, I'll give you that one. Like I said, I'm all right. I feel like the consensus would say that Panda Express is better. So, but quit all the Arby's hate.
Please. Next matchup here, we got Taco Bell versus Steak and Shake.
These are so like two high school spots. Like these were you if you're going to Danville to eat with the boys on like a Friday, Saturday night, you are stopping at one of these. Obviously, COVID has ruined Steak and Shake. And they don't do chicken anymore. They used to have fire chicken tenders, a fire spicy chicken
Mm.
sandwich. So I mean, amongst other things, Steak and Shake has fallen off. So give me Taco Bell here.
Give me Taco Bell as well. Steak and Shake is so classic high school for me, though. Taco Bell, I do agree that there is definitely some like high school to it, but it's had way more
Oh
longevity in my life.
yeah.
Whereas Steak and Shake was like strictly from the ages of
Hmm.
14 to 18 in my life. Like only when I was in high school, like whether it was, going after a Friday night football game or after a basketball game on a Saturday night, Friday night,
I
it,
remember.
it hit the
Yeah.
spot, but it just cannot compare to the
I
Taco
remember
Bell.
getting sacked, fucking blasted 40 times, fucking at QB and fucking limping my way into Steak and Shake every Friday.
Walking in just embarrassed with your Letterman's jacket on, just covering the logos. You're
Yeah,
like,
I'm fucking broken rib over here. Fucking
yeah, that's tough.
yeah.
Have you ever had a 7x7 from Steak and Shake?
I have not. I'm not a big cheese guy. I know they got cheese on there, and then
Uh-huh.
hamburgers are all right, but yeah, I've never dabbled in that.
One time I went with the boy Trele, Mitch G, 7x7s for the whole gang. That was one of the greasiest things I've done in my life. It was an awful decision. It did not. There's some point where there's too much burger, and I don't know what the patty number that is because I've never done. I've probably gone
You've never
three.
maxed
I
out,
went I
yeah.
went straight from 3 to 7, like so. I
Mhm.
don't know, but there is a point where it's too much burger, and 7 is too much burger for those wondering. All right, let's move on to the next matchup here, though. We got Culver's versus Wendy's.
If you're not from the Midwest, you won't know. But I mean, I think Culver's is just a better version of Wendy's. I think Culver's is a better version of Steak and Shake. I mean, anything that's trying to bring that ice cream in, like a Frosty or the shakes at Steak and Shake, Culver's just does it better, along with the food being way better as well. So I mean, pretty easily Culver's here for me.
Yeah, Culver's clears here from me as well. Although I did go to Culver's last night after I went to Chinese, Devin and I, and we went to go get just some ice cream, some custard. And they were like, "Can you pull up?" And I was like, "All I got was a milkshake and a little like concrete mixer
Oh,
thing."
that.
And then I was like, "What are we doing? Like that should be quick. That should be
Mhm.
2 minutes. You should just let me sit here."
They always
They
have you
said,
pull up though.
okay, whatever. They had me pull up then. They didn't bring it out for 25 minutes. They never brought it out. So I had to go inside and say, "Hey, where's my stuff?" And then it was
Mhm.
just sitting there melting. And so that was the first bad experience I've ever had at Culver's. But it
They
luckily wasn't for the food. It was just for the custard. So I'll cut them a break.
Yeah, I mean, Culver's is like up there for me, like for customer service wise. Like, I don't
Hmm.
ever have bad experiences. So, I actually, the Culver's district manager, I sold him all his phones. So, I'll be in contact and let him know about this bad experience.
Yeah, please let them know that I am expecting a free Butterburger. All right, let's move on to the next side of the bracket here. First round, we got Chick-fil-A versus KFC. I already know how you're coming on this one.
Yeah, definitely Chick-fil-A here. I love Chick-fil-A. I wish KFC were somewhere else because this is not, it shouldn't lose first round, but it's just playing a fucking powerhouse here.
It is. It is like the little brother of Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A just does everything KFC does a little bit better. Except for, obviously Chick-fil-A doesn't have like fried chicken, but like in terms of chicken sandwiches and stuff like that, Chick-fil-A just, I mean, they're in a league of their own at some point. I mean, we might talk about another matchup later on here that does a chicken sandwich pretty well, but Chick-fil-A, one of the best you can get out there in the fast food world. Give me a spicy chicken sandwich and some waffle fries any day of the week. That's just always hitting.
Yep, and the customer service obviously never misses there. So
Valid.
I think they co-sign on a loan for me there. Like
Oh yeah, they're saving the day. Let's move on to the next matchup here. We got Portillo's versus Subway.
I'm not a big fan of Portillo's. I've had it a few times. Pretty
Ooh.
overrated. I don't care if that's a hot take. That's my take. I'd go with Subway here, but I will let you move on Portillo's if that's what you want, because I think that's another one where it's just me being picky.
You are being very generous right here, and that scares me for some of these upcoming matchups that you're going to be
I
dying
I'll
on hills.
I'll I'm all right with moving with keeping like gaining my vetoes pretty much. I'll take it. So
All right, well, we got to go with Portillo's. I mean, Subway, whatever, that's fine. Obviously, they got a lot of options and all that. But another one, though, if you're not from the Midwest, you're not going to really know about Portillo's. But Portillo's is hitting. Like, basically
I
anything you get on their menu, I think is pretty good. I will agree, it is overrated. Like, it's not my number one. It's not anything close, really. But I think it is good. It is like high quality, overpriced though as well. It's never worth the money for me, but it's all right.
Yeah, Subway's up there in pricing too. But my thing with Subway too, I feel like Subway kind of gets a lot of hate. I'm more of a Jimmy John's guy, but like you're making the sandwich, you are doing something wrong if you're disliking what you're eating there. So
That's
that's
true.
that's what I'll say about Subway.
That is true. I also just like only associate Subway with living in the dorms at ISU because we had a Subway in our basement, so I would eat Subway too often, like once a week or whatever, probably because we had like our little dollars on our dining card where we could get it for basically like not real money. So it felt like free at that point. And so it doesn't even seem like an option anywhere besides there. So I've only been to Subway like, 2 times outside of the dorms in the past 8 years of my life. So yeah, it kind of just like disqualifies as an option for me. So Portillo's is easy there for me. Next matchup here, though, we got Popeyes versus Shake Shack.
We've had some Popeye slander on the channel. With that though, Popeyes has really improved in Danville. I will say that because so my manager Hayden, who Jonathan knows, he told me when he was working alone, he's like, I did something. He texted me, I did something risky as fuck, and this is
Mm.
like the most bold shit ever. He's like, I DoorDash Popeyes.
Ooh.
That that is it's DoorDash already. I'm already expecting something to get fucked up with DoorDash, but then Popeyes, who just is
They
they
don't
just got
care.
young boy energy there.
They really
Um,
do.
yeah, but they've really improved. And I've gone there. My thing is when I'm eating at a spot, I'll go back to it for lunch multiple times in 1 week, and I'd say I've probably eaten it 4 times in the last 30 days.
Mm.
And it has been good every single time with all right customer service. Not the best customer service, okay, but yeah, I mean,
That's all
I'll
you can
defend.
ask from Popeyes.
Yeah, that was a quick story time there, but I'm going Shake Shack here pretty easily.
Okay. That was funny. I was wondering if you were going to go Popeyes. I'm also going Shake Shack here. I think when Popeyes is really good, it's really good. But like you said, I feel like I just have questionable experiences and it's been bad more than it's been good. And Shake Shack, big Shake Shack fan. The first time I ever went was in Washington D.C. when I was there with my family in like 2016, and we that was this place like you just talked about. Once you go a couple times. We were only there for 5-6 days, whatever. We went twice, which is like kind of crazy when you're on vacation that you want to do different things. But we went a couple times and it hit. And then I've had it, when I was at Harvard for No Labels, so got a special connection to the heart there as well. But yeah, got a love for Shake Shack. One of my favorite fast food burgers, no question.
I told you I had a funny story about Shake Shack. So one time, this is the Donda concert at Soldier Field, and I had drove all the way up to Chicago, first time ever. So I was just super anxious. I think this is what it was. I was just super anxious. So we're just sitting there, me and my boy Hayden, who went to the Donda event with me. We're just sitting there, just chilling, just fucking, and this light just like flickering, like this. It kept going in and out, bro, and it was just like weird. Like I fucking like just ate my food and just felt so sick and like passed out at Shake Shack in Chicago, right on
God,
Michigan Avenue.
that's crazy.
It was an experience, but obviously he went and enjoyed the Kanye concert afterwards. So
Nice. Saw your boy Vic Menza. That's what's up.
yeah,
Yeah. Shout to Shake Shack. Sorry, Popeyes. We got love for you
yeah,
now. So Shake
yeah.
Shack just a
Clear up
little better
their
though.
name is cleared now.
Yeah, we got love. Next matchup here, final matchup of the first round. We got Burger King versus Chipotle.
I
Um,
don't even like Mexican food, but Burger King is fucking disgusting. If you eat there, I mean, I hate Burger King. I love how you can get fucking 40 nuggets for 25 cents there. Like Burger King is disgusting to me. I've had so many bad experiences there. I don't even like Mexican food, so Chipotle moves on here for me.
I love Chipotle. Chipotle, one of my favorites. Eat it too much, probably. Yeah, I got a little bit of love for Burger King. Like, I don't love it. Like, it's not a number one option, but there's some things I like about it. I like the onion rings. I like that might be it actually. I was like little
Yeah.
I just like the onion rings every now and then. Like that's a good switch up from the traditional, fast food fry. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
Chipotle. It's not even
Not
we don't need
yeah.
to spend much time here. Let's move on to the second round here. On the left side, we got Panda Express versus McDonald's.
I'm going Don's here.
This is a tough one. I guess we need to establish, are we talking about, if you had to eat this every day, what are you picking? Or are we talking about like what's the highest quality, or when you get it, what's the best?
I feel like McDonald's is it doesn't miss. Not it doesn't miss. It misses, but if you go to there with the expectation that I'm getting McDonald's, this isn't going to be good, but it's not going to be bad either. It's not going to be the best food I've ever had. You just have to set that expectation for yourself that you're getting McDonald's. This isn't going to be fucking the best fast food ever. You're going to McDonald's. You're on a budget, or you don't not trying to spend a bunch of money and then attach that with all the memories and everything. McDonald's clears here for me. So for that aspect of it.
It's tough though, because I feel like if you go to Panda Express every day, you can expect like a pretty quality meal every time though. You know what I mean? Like at McDonald's, like the expectation is definitely lower than the expectation at Panda Express. So I think it's kind of tough. I'm not mad if we go McDonald's here though. It is a classic spot in our lives, growing up, spending a lot of time at the Second Avenue house, shout out to the namesake there. But get McDonald's, that is sentimental. Obviously, we talked about this earlier when making the bracket, but you had your story about, every time you'd go to the house, you could expect a Happy Meal on some trading cards, and that's a vibe. And so for nostalgia, I will go McDonald's here, although I definitely do find myself going to Panda Express more. So if you're going to go McDonald's, I'm fine with picking that here.
Yep. McDonald's wins.
Okay. Next matchup here, Taco Bell versus Culver's.
I'd go Culver's here. That'd be my vote. Where's your head at on this? I'm curious.
This is a tough one. I think I absolutely go to Taco Bell more, but I would say Culver's is better. Culver's high quality meal, you're getting there. They deliver every time. So I'm fine with going Culver's here, although I definitely get Taco Bell way more.
I like Culver's winning there.
It's like a 3-1. Like I'm getting Taco Bell 3 times for one Culver's, but when I get that Culver's, it does hit. So I am fine with moving that on. All right, let's move on to the other side of the bracket here. We got Chick-fil-A versus Portillo's.
Pretty convincingly Chick-fil-A here for me.
Yeah, I agree here. This is where we do get into that Portillo's is overrated and it's in over its head. In this, second round matchup, it's going against a powerhouse Chick-fil-A. Despite all the bad things that their restaurant has a reputation for, that they do so many good things food wise and customer service wise that it's gonna be tough to knock them off. And Portillo's is definitely not going to be the one to knock them off. Although Portillo's is another one. This is one of the places that does, I feel like, have the high quality fast food. You got the Italian beefs, you got even like ribs on the menu, but Chick-fil-A, just what they do it better. So
if you're getting ribs at a fast food restaurant, you need checked into a mental asylum.
I did when I was like 12. And I remember them actually being good, but then that was another thing. Like as I gotten older and gone to Portillo's more, I'm just like, why would I do that?
I mean, you're eating raccoon meat. You're eating raccoon ribs.
Yeah, I don't know what I was eating, but I thought it was good at the time. Next matchup here, though, Shake Shack versus Chipotle. I feel like this is where you're going to start to...
I'm team Shake Shack here, but go ahead and move on Chipotle.
Okay, Chipotle has to move on. Like, it's getting into a tough matchup here in the next round, but I need Chipotle at least in the Final Four. At least in the Final Four. We could talk next round. That's all I'll say. But sets up an interesting matchup for sure. So let's run through the Final Four here real quick. We got McDonald's, Culver's, Chick-fil-A, and Chipotle. All right, first matchup of the Final Four. McDonald's versus Culver's. I think this is where McDonald's run has to end, right?
Yeah. I'm with that there. It's close though. McDonald's is so
it like if you
bring in breakfast as well. McDonald's breakfast, and then all the other options you have. I can go to McDonald's and enjoy a hamburger, a McChicken, chicken nuggets, a quarter pound. There's so many different ways they can hit you.
That is valid. For the record, I have never had a McDonald's hamburger, but that's just like another reason why I can't pick it to move on any further. Like if I can't muster up the courage to eat their beef, like how good can it be versus Culver's high quality fast food.
I agree that Culver's moves on, but plus give McDonald's its flowers.
I do. I get it pretty often, and I will say the McDonald's chicken sandwich deserves a little bit more respect on its name. Not the McChicken, the crispy chicken sandwich. That is it's not Chick-fil-A level, it's not Popeyes level, but it probably beats some of these other spots. Definitely beats like a Burger King chicken sandwich. It beats some of these other ones. It's good. Put some respect on its name. Other Final Four matchup, we got Chick-fil-A versus Chipotle. I know you're going Chick-fil-A here, and I'm not mad if we go Chick-fil-A, as crazy as that is, because I am a Chipotle fanboy to the death. Chick-fil-A is definitely in my top 3. So I'm not mad if Chick-fil-A goes on here.
Chick-fil-A is definitely moving on.
It
And
is. You
that's why
got
I
the
was keeping
vetoes
those
in the bag.
yeah,
Yeah, you got
that's
those
why I
in
was
the
keeping those in the
bag.
back. I was saving those for instances like this. Chick-fil-A clears in my eyes.
That's fair. I'm not mad at it. Chick-fil-A is great. And I hadn't had it in a long time, and then I got it a couple weeks ago. I got it like right before my birthday, and I got a frosted lemonade for the first time, and that also just like changed my life a little bit because I love like lemon custard from like Custard Cup and all these places. So I was like, what's not to like? Why would I not like this? Why have I never had this before?
Oh,
And then when I took that first sip, I was just something hit. It's great. I don't know if you, oh, you don't like lemon stuff, right?
I hate lemon.
Yeah,
So
so you probably wouldn't be rocking with it, but if you're a lemon fan out there, you got to get you a frosted lemonade. That thing just hits a little bit different.
this is a interesting finals matchup. I feel like Culver's is kind of like the little brother of Chick-fil-A.
Hmm.
And for that, little bro's gonna get little broed, you know.
He is. Chick-fil-A is just a powerhouse. It's national. Culver's is more regional. It is the little brother in this situation. David versus Goliath. Sorry to Culver's. Culver's, they got more variety, which that is a point for Culver's, but Chick-fil-A does it better than anybody else in the chicken sandwich game. Just so consistent.
It's all about quality control too. You know, like if they're bringing in all these items, like nobody's really gonna care. So I mean, they kind of do
It's
what
true.
they have this little set area there, and they're just great at it. They excel at it. So
That is true. That's what Canes does as well. Canes, they have like four things in the menu. You just got the chicken
mhm.
strips, they got the Texas toast, the coleslaw, and the fries. That's all, and everything is just an arrangement of that. The chicken sandwich is just two chicken tenders on a bun. So
Mhm.
they do what they do, and they do it very well. That's a place. It was going to be on the bracket. Elijah's not had it yet. For all you local people, it just came to Champaign, so it's going to definitely get some more local love in the coming weeks and months, and we'll definitely have to go try it together. But because it
I'll get
is
a
one of my
review.
favorite spots,
Yeah,
and then we'll get to review. But I love Canes. Canes would have had a Final Four run here, I think. I will set the expectation. I don't think their chicken is that great. It's the sauce. So you might not love the sauce, which is tough.
I'm not a big
I
sauce
know,
guy
which
either.
is tough. So I feel like you might not love it as much as I do, but the sauce, it just hits. And the toast, you have to like the toast. I mean, that's such like a simple thing, but oh,
I love a good bread. Yeah.
it's this is the definitely best fast food bread you can get. So we'll have to go try and we'll report back. But yeah, congratulations to Chick-fil-A. Very well deserving.
If you guys want a sponsorship, just email us at Second Avenue Podcast at gmail.com. So
Please. All right, let's move on to the news for the week, starting off with the releases. We got projects from The Weeknd with his live album from his LA show with the HBO documentary that dropped last week. We got Dreamville doing the Creed soundtrack. We got Kali Uchis, Young Nudie, Slow Tie, and Macklemore. Also got singles from Bia, Black, Mike Dimes, Nicki Minaj, Wiz Khalifa, Makami, and Conway the Machine. Pretty solid week. What
it's
have your
picking up.
favorite drops been?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It is picking up. This is what we've been hoping for.
Mhm.
What's your favorite drop of the week so far?
I haven't been able to listen to too much yet. I'm obviously excited for the Creed one there. Big fan of that franchise, and then the Weekend as well. I love live albums, especially when they're done right. So, I haven't been able to listen to too much of the albums or the singles yet, but definitely plan on doing it this week. So,
I have not listened to the Weekend live album yet because I am refusing to listen to it until I watch it on the HBO documentary first because it's basically just the audio of that. So I want to see the performance before I listen to it. I do agree a nice live album does hit every now and then. Especially that one's interesting because, it's different songs from different albums versus like sometimes there is just a straight one album performance. Like J. Cole with the 2014 Forest Hills Drive one. But yeah, definitely cool. So excited to check that one out. Have not listened to all of Dreamville. Listen to the track by J. Cole, of course. Had to. We'll touch on that track in the news in a little bit. But I gotta show some love to Young Nudie. Young Nudie, put some respect on his name. His album is fire. He's been consistent. He's been putting out great music for a minute. And he just doesn't get the shine that he deserves. So if nobody else is gonna do it, I'll be the one to say shout to Young Nudie. He's the one. As well as Slow Tie. Slow Tie, underrated. Have not gotten a chance to listen to the full album yet, but what I have heard is great, and he just really delivers on albums, especially. So go listen to his album, please.
Definitely. That's another one I want to give a listen to, along with Young Nudie. Like I said, it really picked up this week. So a lot to get into though. So
And then in terms of singles, I mean, Black did his thing. Excited for that album. And obviously, the Griselda boys are always going to come through. So shout out to Conway. Shout out to Matt Comey there. I don't know if Matt Comey's technically a Griselda boy, but
yeah,
he
honorary.
is. Yeah, he is to me. Let's move on to the next part of the news here. We got the Dreamville Festival. The lineup has been released. And the biggest news of it, obviously, is you got that Drake plus J. Cole headlining spot. That's crazy. What do you think is going to happen there? Do you think it's going to be together? Do you think it's going to be one after the other? How do you envision that?
I'd say like kind of together. I mean, obviously, they don't have too much to perform together, so but I think they could alternate songs or something of that nature. We'll see what happens though. That's very exciting, of course. So
Oh yeah, that'd be a crazy set to see. That's going to be legendary. It kind of has, in my mind, the same vibe as the Kanye and Drake
yeah,
performance. Like I feel like they're going to do their own thing, but they're also going to have a couple moments where they're just added together. Yeah, like you said, there's not too much music they have together, and the songs they do have together aren't really like concert type songs. They're not like
yeah,
bangers. Like in the morning, that's not gonna, it's not like a banger. It's a great song, but it's not a live song in my head. But then you got Jodeci. They had to do Jodeci freestyle. I mean, that track is just crazy. And I feel like neither of them probably perform it. So that would definitely be a cool moment, especially for like, I mean, obviously Dreamville Festival is bigger and it's not exclusively like diehard J. Cole fans anymore. But for the fans that are diehards that are there, they're going to appreciate that moment for sure. So that'll be cool. But that would be a dope festival to be at. Dreamville Festival has always come through with pretty solid lineups, and definitely no exception here. Anytime you're going to get Drake as a headliner, crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
crazy. And I mean, after him being at Camp Flog now too, it kind of seems like I don't know how, but it seems like Drake at this level is just more accessible to some level. Like he's been just doing these festivals for these other artists that he just fucks with, which is cool.
Yeah. Rolling Loud, they got to get him.
They have to one of these days. I'm sure they will. I just don't know when it's going to be. It has to happen, but we'll talk about Rolling Loud here in a little bit. Next news here, Danny Brown and JPEG Mafia collab album is going to be called Scaring the Hoes Volume 1. And if this isn't the most self-aware, perfectly titled album, show me another one, because this is the one. Not a big podcast guy, contrary to what you would expect if we are podcasters. I'm like, I don't really listen to podcasts too much. I will watch on occasion, like if it's on YouTube, I can watch, but I just can't get myself to listen to a podcast. But with that being said, Danny Brown podcast goes crazy, and he had JPEG Mafia on an episode, so I had to tune in because they're talking about some of this stuff, and they played a song that is going to be the lead single, I guess, called Lean Beef Patty, and that was disgusting. It was too good. The beat goes crazy. Those two are both just production kings. They're just always having some of the best production in the game. So my expectations for this album are crazy high, which is tough thing for an album, but with artists of their caliber, I know or pull through for us. So we'll see, but definitely very excited for this. And with a name like that, volume 1, or we get a volume 2 sometime.
Yeah, it's the first. So
I hope. Next news here, Travis Scott has been suspected in an assault investigation for allegedly punching a man. It was a sound engineer. There's like video of some lead up. I didn't see like an actual like hit or anything, but
he's taking the Kanye West approach,
I saw somebody else say that too.
Yeah. All publicity is good publicity, I guess.
I don't know. Tough look for Travis. Next news here, as we talked about earlier, we talked about the Dreamville Creed project. On that project, J. Cole had a track, and on it, he's potentially hinted at his retiring. He said, just cop the fall off, and he'll explain at the end of the chapter, happily ever after.
This is crazy. Obviously Kanye West is kind of out of music here. I predicted Kendrick would retire. This would be Kendrick's last album here. That with Mr. Morale, the Big Steppers, J. Cole hinting at retiring, Drake as well. This is it's crazy. Obviously, there's other people that are kind of leading the new generation already, but I don't know. Just seeing this in words is insane, especially when I think J. Cole's
Mhm.
near the top of his game. So
It is tough. It's just so crazy. I mean, obviously, you knew it was going to come at some point. I mean, there's an end to everything. But seeing all three of these people get so close, well, including excluding
yeah,
Kanye, but the Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick, seeing all three of them get to that same point at like right around the same time, it's just so tough. Like
yeah,
having to deal with all those at the same time. But um, obviously, they've had great careers and whatever they want to do, that's their life, that's their business. But as a fan, tough. I just
it's sad. Yeah.
it is sad. I'm just very hopeful for the last J. Cole project, if it is going to be the last one. And the thing about music, I mean, you can go in and out. Like it's not like an NBA.
Yeah,
Like
it's
when you give
not.
up your spot, it's gone. Music, you can put whatever you want out whenever you want to put it out. So who knows if it'll really be the end? Obviously, they'll probably do features. They'll probably do whatever. But in terms of projects, seems like the end's coming, which is definitely sad.
Definitely. But I mean, we'll be here to track it, see what's going on with it, of course. So stay tuned on that. I guess, if retirement actually does happen. So
Mm-hmm. Next news, Playboy Cardi, his album title is going to be revealed in the next 2 weeks. I also saw somebody he's working with say it's going to drop before June. So Playboy Cardi season is upon us. You never know where you're going to get with Playboy Cardi. I saw something saying that this album is going to be more like his earlier sound, which I feel like is way more, accessible. Like the Rage Beats, a whole lot of red sound, very unique, very interesting. But I feel like it got more haters. Like it was more of a 50-50 versus I feel like early Playboy Cardi was like everybody loved it. Like you had Magnolia, you had Shooter, you had all these tracks that were just huge crowd pleasers. And so yeah, I think him going back the direction, he showed he can experiment. And so I think come back with the hits. It's gonna be great to see. So whatever we get from Cardi, he's a deliver. The last news of the week. Rolling Loud was this weekend. There've been some crazy performances. Larry June had the Alchemist rapping. That was dope. I saw some other people say apparently he's been doing that, but that was the first I'd seen of that. So that was cool. Other big news with that though, Don Tolliver brought out Justin Bieber. I mean, that just goes to show that nobody's
yeah,
too big for Rolling Loud at this point, which is fire.
yeah, that's such a W there. Looked like a crazy time. I broke my Rolling Loud America streak. I'd gone to Miami, I'd gone to New York consecutively. I should have made it Cali, but I'll be back soon. So
I know you will. But yeah, crazy special guest. They did not live stream Travis's performance. I would have tuned in though. It's been a minute since I've seen
yeah,
Travis' performance, so would have been cool, especially with new music probably on the way fairly soon.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
be excited to
I
hear.
think that about wraps it up for this week. Is there anything else? Any closing thoughts you have or anything? I mean,
No, just let us know of these brackets we mentioned at the beginning of the episode. What are you most looking forward to? What shows, what songs, what ad libs, all these things. What got to be on these brackets? We want to make sure we do the best we can. Make sure we're making these brackets what you guys want to see. If there's any other brackets you want to see us do, let us know those as well. And of course, let us know how you're liking non-music content. If this is something you guys like, we can switch it up more often. I enjoyed this, so I'm definitely down to switch it up every now and then.
Me too. It was enjoyable. I feel like food's kind of like a hot topic between me and
Mm.
you, especially. I'm very picky, so it was a lot of fun to do. But next week, let's do the Travis one. We ended on
Yep.
Travis, so
Yep.
we'll be back with the Travis Scott song bracket. So tune in for that, guys.
Gonna be a hit. Yep. We'll see you guys next Monday. Let us know what songs that be in that bracket. Peace.
Peace.